All that is in front of you isn't all that there is. You can change, you can grow, you can shift, you can switch, you can evolve so much more than what you already have. Use everything you have to its full capacity. Everything you know, apply it. Everything you've been taught, apply it. Reuse it, reframe it, redo it, recreate it. What's in front of you now won't be in front of you tomorrow.
I decided to do a 30-day cleanse because I felt so stagnant and completely detached from my creativity. I was constantly clocking in, I was teaching yoga classes, flexibility classes, and I just was in like this cycle of just work, work, work. Part of me felt satisfied to be doing the thing that I prayed for and to be bringing in the income and to just have this consistent productivity. But I also felt like a disconnect and an emptiness from being in my creativity. Sometimes I really hate that I'm so good at yoga and flexibility because it comes so natural for me, and I find myself just drawn to it naturally. Like I don't have to put so much force into it, and next thing you know, I've been doing it for months at a time, but I haven't been focused on my acting career. My job was becoming stressful. I started to get in little disagreements with people that I work with, and I was just like, I know for sure this is not the job that I prayed for. I know that God did not give me this to be stressed out and to be unfulfilled. So I was like, I need to take a step back. I need to figure out what it is that I'm missing in the process of this new beginning. So I decided to do a 30-day cleanse, and that might sound extreme for some people, but I was desperate for understanding. And we've all had that moment where we ask for something and then we just get over it. We're like, okay, like what's next? When you pray for something, when you ask for something and you actually receive it, there is a lesson at hand. There is something within that experience that you need to be learning, or something that you need to understand before you're able to move on to the next thing. For you, it could be modeling, it could be content creating, it could be dancing, it could be acting, anything. For me, it was acting and content creating. I completely fell off of putting so much intention behind my acting, and I completely fell off of creating content from a space of healing and relatability. The first thing I decided to do to bring myself back to my creativity is a water fast, and I did a 24-hour water fast every week. Whenever you start to feel mentally cluttered to the point where you cannot fully express yourself, a fast will give you the clarity that you need, because you're not filling yourself with unnecessary food, unnecessary content. A lot of times we're feeding ourselves with unnecessary distractions, but when you go on a water fast and your intake is minimal, literally everything that you need is just water and the word of God and your intuition. Like, there's nothing else that can distract you. You're literally starving your distractions, both mentally and physically. You're able to make more conscious decisions moving forward. Whenever I start to feel a creative blockage, it's less about being overstimulated and more about not having a space for these ideas to go. Like, I have the ideas, but I just don't have a space to put them, or I can't slow down enough to get my thoughts out clearly, or decide how I want to present them to the world or even to myself. And when you fast, you allow yourself that clarity and that space to really sit in stillness and draw out all the ideas that you have. If you really take a moment to think about all the things you consume throughout the day, the conversations that you have, the emotions that you have through scrolling, the videos that you watch, we consume so much throughout the day. And if we don't actively put that somewhere, it could be sitting on our subconscious, and now we're making decisions based off of what we watched or what we heard, and we're not even realizing it. We can be on autopilot, making decisions through somebody else's story or somebody else's experience.
Another thing I decided to do during my 30-day cleanse was practice abstinence from sex. And I've done it before. I did 3 years before, but this time a little different because the 3-year mark kind of happened on accident. Like, it started with 30 days, but then it turned into 3 years. But I knew that that was something that helped me before, so I did it again. And I encourage you to do the same. If you know that there is something that you've done in the past that helps you draw in your creativity, do that again. There's no shame in that at all. Repeat the things that are working for you, because at least you know they're working and you don't have to guess. So we all know that sexual energy is creative energy. So if the goal is to reconnect with your creativity, you want to remove anything that might be interfering with that flow. And it doesn't mean that it's hindering it, but if you know that you are, I don't know, a dancer, and dance is all that you know and all that you live for, but you're doing something else completely outside of dance just to fill in that spot, you're still getting creativity out of it. Maybe you're doing something like yoga or some type of other movement class, but it's not dance. You want to remove the thing that is interfering with your flow of getting directly to dance. It also builds discipline, because if you know I'm in the mood, but I'm practicing putting this creative energy somewhere else, now you have to practice disciplining yourself to make more powerful and intuitive and very intentional and strong decisions. Instead of going to something that is like a quick fix or something that just feels good for the moment, it's like, no, I know that this is my purpose, so I'm going to do everything that I need to do to get to this purpose. Not to cut corners and do something that might fulfill me just for this little moment. I'm going to put all of that into what actually matters the most. This is more about discipline more than anything else. Now, it might bring up other things. Honestly, it might bring up self-worth. I know that was a moment for me, like self-worth and insecurities and just feeling like you're enough. Like, it really does bring up other things, but you have to remind yourself what you're doing it for in the first place. And also, they say it takes 30 days to build a habit. So if you can practice abstinence from sex for 30 days and put that energy into something else, you've already built the flow and the habit of being in your creativity. You've already built the discipline. So yeah, 30 days abstinence from sex, you can do it. The more that I practice moving with intention and going deeper, the ideas just start to unravel naturally. I stop judging myself. I stop procrastinating on my ideas. As someone who teaches flexibility sessions, I always encourage my clients, and honestly anyone, to prioritize stillness just as much as they do movement. Because with movement, you're actually flowing through the possibilities, the emotions, the thoughts, and with stillness, you become more receptive to those possibilities and those thoughts. When they arrive, whether they're negative or positive, you have the choice to go with it or to leave it where it's at. And that is the type of intention that you want when you're creating. Flexibility builds us so much internal awareness. One of our goals is for people to relate and resonate with our messages. If we're too disconnected from our own stories in a way that we approach life, we can't expect anyone else to feel connected to us. When we're still, we can hear God's voice even more clearly, because we're not praying and asking for something, but instead listening and waiting for the next step to move forward. So all of the movement, all of the working out, the flexibility, the yoga, the Pilates, the going to the gym, all of that is so necessary. It must be coupled with stillness as well when you're tapping back into your creativity again.